This video is a follow-on from my WordPress Clique video, the one that sparked quite a bit of conversation. Some people agreed with me, some got defensive, and a few even said I was just being negative for attention or seeking publicity. So today I want to clear the air and I want to be absolutely clear about where I'm coming from. Now, this isn't about stirring drama, it's not about chasing views, and it's definitely not about jealousy. I don't need to rant to get publicity. And by the way, I'm doing really well. I've got my YouTube channel, but I've got tons of other sources of income. And I don't just rely on web design, this channel, or selling courses. What I want to do here is have an honest conversation about something that exists in every industry, not just WordPress. I'm talking about the cliques. They're real. They influence who gets seen, who gets promoted, and who gets ignored. And if we don't talk about it, nothing changes. So I'm going to try and break it down point by point. And along the way, I'm going to share some personal experiences because I've seen all of this play out firsthand. Podcasts should be a goldmine. They should be where we get fresh ideas, honest conversations, practical insights, and many podcasts are really, really good. But we can't deny that many of them do drift into echo chambers as well. I remember listening to a pretty big podcast a while back, and the episode was over an hour long. And do you know how much of it actually related to building with WordPress or solving client problems? About 5 minutes. The rest of it was in jokes, self-promotion, and people talking about how long they'd known each other. And I thought to myself, if I were a freelancer just trying to figure out how to get my next client, or a small agency owner trying to keep up with WordPress developments, how much value would I get from this? The answer? Absolutely none. Now, when I say that, the counter argument is always going to be podcasts are not tutorials, they're conversations. Yeah, I get that. But conversations about what? If it's the same people saying the same things, the average WordPress professional is kind of left out. I've never been to WordCamp, but I have been to meetups or other WordPress related events, and they are brilliant for the community, especially local WordCamps, because you might meet people, you get chatting, you share ideas, you're going to feel like you're part of something. The problem I have is with the flagship WordCamps. They sometimes feel more about positioning and branding than about WordPress itself. Big sponsors, familiar names, headline speakers. And I find the majority of the talks, they're basically like a sales pitch dressed up as a keynote. People are going to clap, people are going to smile, but when you look at some of the people in the crowd, I bet there's going to be some that are kind of bored and they're kind of wondering, why am I sat through a commercial? And when I have brought this up in the past with some people, they will say, but WordCamp is all about the community. It's not just about the code and getting clients. And yeah, I agree. But if someone has traveled, they've paid money, they've taken time out their week, they're probably going to expect a little bit more than just networking. They're going to expect to get insights, knowledge, something that they can take home and learn from rather than just a social club. Now, this is a really sticky issue. I'm talking about authority in WordPress. Some people will act like their opinion is law. Maybe because they work at Automatic, or they've been around forever, or they've built big plugins and they've sold businesses, and sure, they have experience. But experience doesn't automatically mean you are right. I once sat in a panel where someone in the audience asked a question and someone from the panel dismissed their question. It was literally like, no, that's not how we do it. No, that's the old way. No. This is the new way of thinking. This is how we do things. And the room went quiet. The person in the audience just didn't know how to push back. And honestly, I couldn't blame them. Because if that had been me 5 or 10 years ago, I'd either have walked out or felt really small because an expert on the panel has just shut me down. The counter argument I hear from people is, well, that person on the panel earned their authority. Yeah, but authority doesn't mean silencing other perspectives. A new voice can highlight blind spots that veterans miss. And if we keep treating authority as dominance, new people won't even try. I've seen plugins hyped up to the skies in the heavens, but they're actually quite buggy, clunky, unscalable. And I've seen small developers build genuinely brilliant solutions or code snippets and they get zero attention. Why? Because promotion isn't about quality, it's about connections and who paid the sponsorship money. Personally, I've developed loads of great snippets and tools and methods to help real people overcome real problems. But you know what? A lot of people won't hear about it. And I don't just want it to be about me. There's other people out there that have developed things. But unless you're a sponsor of an event or you're a big name, people just won't know about it. At the end of the day, visibility often beats quality. And if you're not in the right circle, your work will be invisible. And that is not healthy for the WordPress ecosystem. Now, here's where it gets emotional, because whenever someone questions the norm, the defensiveness is instant. After my first video about WordPress Cliques went out, I got messages from lots of people who were not named, weren't even implied inside of the video, but they felt the need to defend themselves because they kind of felt like I was attacking the community or what they stand for or their podcast. No, I wasn't. I was pointing out patterns. But in WordPress, criticism often gets treated like hostility. And the argument is always, we're protecting the community from negativity. But criticism isn't negativity. Criticism is how we improve. If we label every honest critique as toxic, we create a bubble where only praise is allowed. And you know what happens with bubbles? They burst. Now, in my video, I mentioned diversity, and I've had people contact me about that. And yes, WordPress is diverse. We've got people from all over the world contributing. That is a big strength of our community. But a lot of people misunderstood what I meant by diversity. Diversity isn't just about race, religion, or gender. It's about diversity of thought, of skills, of approach. And let's be honest here, bias still exists. I know this personally. I've had emails where people have told me directly that my name or my background made them less likely to take me seriously or work with me. That's not WordPress's fault, but it is part of the wider industry that we are in. And when I say diversity needs to be broader, I'm not ignoring the progress that's been made. I'm saying let's keep going. Let's not assume we're done. I need to repeat this. I'm not doing this for attention. I've had people assume that because I'm vocal, I must be chasing clicks or controversy. But here's the reality. I don't need to. My YouTube channel is strong. My courses do well. My lifestyle is comfortable. My mortgage is paid off. I have other income streams. I don't need drama to survive. But what I've always done when I was in the NHS, when I've worked with people throughout my entire life, all I want is fairness. I want someone starting today to feel like they have a shot at being seen. And I know how hard that is because I've been there. I've been overlooked. I've had my ideas ignored. And I don't just mean in WordPress. I mean in life. I've seen smaller creators struggle to get noticed while bigger names are going to soak up all the attention. That is why I speak up. Not for me, for them. Technically, anyone can apply to speak at a WordCamp, and it was nice to see them setting up like a podcast at the recent WordCamp US. Now, anyone can pitch themselves for that podcast, but in reality, when you have the same names dominating, newcomers may feel like they're crashing someone else's party. I know people who have said, I want to apply, but I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't feel like I belonged. You know, the whole imposter syndrome. And WordPress isn't unique in that. Every industry has it. But if we're serious about inclusion, we have to actively counter it. Even something as small as selfies at WordCamps. Scroll through, you're going to see the same faces again and again and again. Now, for someone new, that can feel quite intimidating. It looks like a closed circle, even though I know it's not meant to be. And I'm not having a go at anyone that does selfies, but can you see the point that I'm making here? And here's my final issue that kind of rarely gets mentioned. Agreement circles. Like what? What are you talking about? Sometimes people only surround themselves with those who nod along. Why? Because disagreement threatens their business model. Web accessibility is a great example. I've shared free, detailed content about accessibility because I believe in sharing knowledge openly. And I've had pushback from many accessibility experts. Not because what I shared was wrong or completely wrong, but because it undercut their sales funnels. And the counter argument I get a lot is, but people need to make a living. Of course they do. But making a living shouldn't mean silencing other perspectives or discouraging free knowledge. That is not how open source thrives. So let me pull all of this together. WordPress isn't broken, but it can be better. We can have podcasts that serve the wider community and not just the insiders. We can have WordCamps that balance community and learning. We can respect authority without silencing newcomers. We can promote real quality and not just familiar names. We can accept criticism without overreacting. We can expand diversity to mean more than just demographics. We can help new people feel like they belong. And we can probably resist agreement circles that protect business models, instead of the community. Cliques exist. They always will. But if we want WordPress to stay open, innovative, and truly inclusive, then we need to admit it. And we need to commit to doing better. That's not negativity. That's just honesty. And if that honesty makes some people uncomfortable, maybe that's the clearest sign that this conversation needed to happen.